Howdy y'all, and welcome to another Sweet Tea in a Movie. This time we're talking about The World's End. Now usually I make a funny joke or something like that relating Sweet Tea to the movie. But I'm just going to go ahead and come out and say this. This isn't beer. It's not scotch, it's not whiskey, it's not alcoholic, it's sweet tea. Like the name of the show. Get it? So World's End is a fantastic, amazing, totally awesome, oh my gosh movie. And I'm going to go ahead and just talk about why it is. First off, let's talk about the acting, which is awesome. It is so spot on for the roles and for what the movie calls for. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost do an absolutely great job working off of each other in this movie, as does all the other main characters and side characters. It's so emotionally charged too. Like you really care about these characters in the first like 15 minutes because they're so unique and interesting, and it's like they're brothers. They're all friends, but it's like they're brothers and they just care about each other so much, even if they don't necessarily say it and they instead say mean things to each other. Particularly to Gary King, the main character. The acting is so spot on, especially on Simon Pegg's part, because he's just acting like a cocky, sort of know-it-all kind of guy, but he's still so lovable and heartfelt. And then there's a tragic side to him too, where this bar crawl that the movie takes place through, it's all he's got. And he personifies that want so well, and it's perfect. It is so good. So the acting in this movie is awesome. The story. Now, I saw the trailer for this movie a couple times, and I did not see any of that coming. I knew there was some fighting with like weird robot stuff or whatever, and I knew it was all about a bar crawl, but I did not see that coming. I'm not going to spoil anything, of course, but it's one of the best stories this year. I'm not even kidding. Who would think a movie that starts as a bar crawl would turn into something so emotionally charged and so amazingly well written and so amazingly performed? The story is fantastic. It goes from a bar crawl to a fight for life, and even philosophical debates about free will. That's pretty awesome. So absolutely great job on the story. The music. Now luckily I had a friend come with me to see this movie. A lot of the songs that they played, like a lot of the commercial songs they played during the movie, I didn't know and I didn't get, but my friend apparently knew like most of them, if not all, and he said it was really good choosing of songs. And even the original score for the movie, which you know, you don't have to know because you only hear it in the movie. The original score for the movie was pretty dang good too. It really got you pumped up at some points and really helped you feel the emotions at some points. It's just so well made and well done. And the commercial use songs were really well put together and picked for certain parts of the movie too. So that's awesome that, you know, they're not just using like popular music at the time right now. They're using music that has made a statement in its own time and then comes back to perfectly fit the specific parts of the movie. And that's really good choosing, and that's really good job on just the music overall. And finally, settings and cinematography. I'm probably the billionth person to say this, but especially as an American who's never been to the UK, but the English countryside is beautiful. Oh my gosh. The cameras really pick it up so well. It's just absolutely gorgeous scenery. I love the small town and the pubs and how it all looks. And even in the beginning, like some of the bigger buildings and stuff like that, it all looks really good. They got a good camera team for this because everything just looks super good, and they did a great job. And speaking of the camera team, I hope they got paid a lot of money because the fighting scenes and the action scenes in the movie, first of all, are some of the best action scenes I've seen all year, and maybe even in just a really long time. It is well choreographed, it is well done, it is fun to look at, and best of all, you can look at it because the camera stays on the action. It doesn't do shaky cam everywhere to disguise bad action. The action is good and the camera is able to pick it up. Now, there is a little bit of shaky cam in a way, but that's because there's certain segments during fight scenes where it's a really long take, which, you know, props to a camera team that can do a long take, and actors who can do a long take. But there's certain parts where somebody's fighting and then one of the other main characters just walks by and the camera follows them like that. So there's a little bit of shaking going on there, but you know, that's natural because you have to follow the action. But absolutely great job just on all departments all around, because it was really great to watch, especially those fight scenes. Just, if you want to see some good fight scenes, see this movie, because I'm gonna buy it so I can study these fight scenes. Before I move on to the score, I will make a few notes for people who are interested in seeing this. It is rated R for a reason. It centers around a bar crawl, so there's a lot of consumption of alcohol, and there is some narcotics referencing and possibly use. And there's also some swearing. And as far as the action, there's beheadment and dismemberment, but the only time that happens is with the weird alien robot things, and it's proven just a little bit later on in the movie that they can in fact pop the stuff back on. So it's fun to watch, and they can just pop their limbs back on, so it's not really that big of a deal. And it's bloody, but it's blue ink, so it's not really blood. It's just the internal... It's, you know, they're robot aliens. That's the explanation. They're robot aliens. But yeah, it is rated R for a reason. So with all I've said, I really need to give this movie a rating just right now, honestly, because I cannot say anything else. There's so much praise for this movie, and the critics love it. The fans love it. Everybody loves it because it's good. Don't you love it when a movie is so good that it gets the critics and the fans all riled up together to say, yes, go see it? Like me, go see it. But, time for the rating. I happily give this movie a 10 out of 10. This movie deserves the 10 out of 10. It's not completely perfect or near perfect because you do have to suspend your disbelief a little bit in some situations, like how can Gary King still be walking and even slightly sober with all the alcohol he's been drinking? But I'm willing to forgive that a little bit because the events of the night probably could sober you up pretty quickly. With all that said, 10 out of 10, I am very happy that I saw this movie, and I'm very happy to recommend it. If it's in movie theaters right now where you are, please go see it. It is so worth your money. So go see this movie if you haven't yet. Go see it in the theater, and have a good day. Peace out.